Today I'll be addressing a topic which we come across very frequently whenever foreign national entrepreneurs, they are thinking of coming to North America on one of the business programs. They often consider and compare US business programs with the Canadian business programs. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sajjad Malik. I'm a Canadian business and immigration lawyer, and I'm speaking to you from Oakville, Ontario, Canada. Today I'll be addressing a topic which we come across very frequently whenever foreign national entrepreneurs, they are thinking of coming to North America on one of the business programs. They often consider and compare US business programs with the Canadian business programs. One of the most popular US visa is E2 investor or treaty trader visa, and it has certain requirements which must be met in order to establish a business in the US and come and conduct that business in the US. Compared to that, in Canada there are several provincial nominee programs for entrepreneurs through which several entrepreneurs could come to Canada, establish business or acquire an existing business and secure status in Canada. Now, this video I want to specifically disclaim that I am not suggesting one program over the other. I am not advising anyone specifically on this through the information which I provide to you. It's only for informational purposes. If you wish to discuss your specific circumstances and goals in detail, you're most welcome to schedule a consultation with us, with myself as a Canadian immigration lawyer, business immigration lawyer, and with our counterparts in the US who are licensed to practice immigration law in the US. So we have trusted partners who will be helping you in the US side of it. Now, for the sake of comparison, I'll be talking to you on 5 points when we compare these two visas: E2 visa and provincial nominee program for entrepreneurs in Canada. First point is that for the US E2 visa, a person must come from a country which has a business treaty with the US, which has an investment or a specific commercial agreement with the US government. So if you are from one of those countries, then you may be able to avail the opportunity of coming to the US on an E2 business visa, I would say. And now, compared to that, in Canada, there is no specific requirement of having a treaty with a particular country from which you're coming from. And pretty much almost every country, any entrepreneur from every country, provided he meets the other requirements, may be able to come to Canada through this path, establish business, and secure status, legal status in Canada. The second factor which you must keep in mind is for the E2 business visas, you must make a significant investment in the US business or a US enterprise. There's no specific minimum or maximum amount of money which is given for investing in the US to secure this kind of visa. It'll all depend on what business are you proposing, what are different parts of the business plan, and how would it go about it. In Canada, compared to the US, if we compare the US E2 visa with the Canadian entrepreneur programs, most of the programs are run by the provinces and the territories, and most of the programs have some minimum investment requirement in them, generally starting from $150,000 of minimum investment which you could make in an existing business or a new business. Compared to US, there's no such requirement on the US side of it. The third factor you must keep in mind is that in the US, there is no minimum job creation requirement that you have to create 1, 2, or 4 jobs. In Canada, in most of the programs, there is a requirement to create a job. Even the smallest program, if you look at, it has the requirement to create at least 1 job for a Canadian or a permanent resident of Canada. Now, the fourth factor which we look at in the E2 visa and compare it with the entrepreneur program is for how long can you remain in the US on an E2 visa. You can remain in US on an E2 visa indefinitely for as long as you're conducting that business and you're meeting all the conditions of being an entrepreneur under the E2 visa. It doesn't automatically lead to the green card or a status or a citizenship in the US, but yes, you can keep on conducting your business as long as you are able to do it, as long as you're meeting the conditions of it. Now, when we compare it with the entrepreneur provincial nominee programs of Canada, most of the times these programs allow you to come on a work permit and then establish the business in Canada. Once you have established the business in Canada, depending on which province are you going, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever, then based on that business, you could secure or you could apply for permanent residence of Canada. And once you are a permanent resident, you meet certain eligibility requirements, it could lead you to the citizenship of Canada. So E2 visa of the US compared to entrepreneur provincial nominee programs, the PNP program for entrepreneurs in Canada would give you the ability to become a citizen of Canada. The fifth and last factor is the processing time. How much processing time is required for the US side of it, E2 business visa, or for the entrepreneur provincial nominee program for entrepreneurs in the US? It would pretty much depend on the country of residence, the country of citizenship of that person, in which consulate is involved. Similarly, in entrepreneur visas as well, the time will depend on which country are you coming from, what kind of a business plan it is, whether you are proposing a new business. The COVID in the past affected these timelines badly. And generally speaking, both in the entrepreneur for provincial nominee program, it may take from 1 year, 1.5 years to even up to 3 to 4 years, depending on which province and which business are you suggesting. The E2 programs, if you're submitting it to the consulate, if you're submitting it from Toronto to the US, time required is far less compared to submitting this application from, say, India or in Africa or another country such as Pakistan, which may be from a few months to even up to a year or more. If you have any questions in which you wish to compare the US and Canadian, we have US lawyer on board as well, and the Canadian side of it, we can always help you in comparing these two programs. And then if you wish to go ahead with the business programs in Canada, we could always schedule that kind of comparison for you and help you in navigating this process and represent you during the process. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you wish to get in touch, please find the information in the video notes, and you're most welcome to get in touch, and we could later on schedule your formal assessment and legal consultation. If you have liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and click the like button. Thank you very much and have a good day.